Your father is gone. There is no softening that, no reframing it into something easier to carry. He is gone. And the world kept moving. Bills still came. Work still called. The routine of life did not pause to acknowledge that the man who raised you had left it permanently. Most men do not talk about what that silence feels like. The absence of the one person whose opinion of you carried more weight than you ever fully admitted. You did not realize how much of what you were building was being built for him to see, until there was no one left to show it to. And in that silence, most men make a choice. They do not make it consciously. They do not sit down and decide. It happens quietly, the way all the important decisions happen. In the small moments no one notices. The gym visit that gets cut short. The goal that gets pushed to next month. The discipline that softens. The standard that drops. And they tell themselves it is grief. It is transition. It is just temporary. But temporary has a way of becoming permanent when no one is holding you accountable. And the man who was holding you accountable the most is the one who is no longer here. Here is what happens to most men after they lose their father. The first month is grief, raw, unfiltered, honest. The second month is survival, getting through each day, putting one foot in front of the other. The third month is when the real test begins, because by the third month, life expects you to be back to normal, and you are not. But you pretend you are, and in that pretending, the drift begins. You stop pushing as hard, because who are you pushing for? You stop holding the standard, because who is watching? You settle into comfort, because comfort is the only thing that does not remind you of loss. And years pass, not dramatically, quietly, the way water erodes stone, slowly, consistently, without announcement. And one day you look up and realize the man you were becoming when your father was alive is not the man you became after he left. Somewhere in the grief, you stopped, and comfort filled the space where ambition used to live. This is not weakness. This is what happens when the external standard disappears and you have not yet built an internal one strong enough to replace it. Your father was not just your parent. He was a mirror. Whether you respected what you saw in that mirror or resented it. Whether you were trying to be like him or trying to be nothing like him. He was the standard you were measuring yourself against. And now, the mirror is gone. And without a mirror, most men stop looking at themselves honestly. They stop asking the hard questions. Am I becoming something worth becoming? Am I building something worth leaving? Am I living in a way that justifies the years I have been given? Your father did not get all of his years. Most men do not. And the ones who leave early, leave behind sons who are still here, still breathing, still capable, still holding time that the man who raised them would have used differently. Here is what that looks like in practice. You wake up later than you used to. Not by much, just 15 minutes, then 30, then an hour. The morning routine your father would have recognized gets replaced with scrolling, checking nothing, avoiding the quiet, because the quiet reminds you of the conversation you will never have again. You skip the gym more often, not every day, just twice a week, then 3 times. Then you stop going entirely and tell yourself you will start again Monday. But Monday never comes, because starting again means admitting you stopped, and admitting you stopped means confronting why you let it happen in the first place. You stop finishing what you start. The project gets abandoned halfway. The book goes unread. The goal gets rewritten into something smaller, something easier, something that does not require you to be uncomfortable. And every time you lower the bar, you tell yourself it is reasonable. It is realistic. It is just being kind to yourself during a hard time. But here is the truth. Your father would not recognize kindness in what you are doing. He would recognize surrender, the slow, quiet kind, the kind that does not announce itself, the kind that just happens. one compromise at a time, until the man in the mirror is unrecognizable from the one your father thought he was raising. Here is the question this video is asking you. If your father could see your life right now, not the version you present to the world, not the highlight reel, the actual life, the private hours, the decisions no one sees, the discipline you hold or abandon when no one is watching, what would he see? Would he recognize the son he was trying to raise? Or would he see a man who got comfortable the moment the person watching him most closely was no longer there to watch? That question is not meant to hurt you. It is meant to locate you. Because most men already know the answer. They just have not let themselves ask it honestly. Your father's absence is permanent. You cannot give him more of your time. You cannot call him and tell him you finally understand what he was trying to show you. You cannot sit across from him and let him see that everything he invested in you was not wasted. That window is closed, but this one is not. The years you still have are not his. They are yours, and what you do with them is the only conversation you have left with him. Not words, actions, not promises, results, not intentions. The actual life you build from this moment forward. Every man his father raised who then became nothing is a kind of death that extends beyond the grave. And every man his father raised who then became something carries that man forward into time long after his body is gone. Your father is watching, not as superstition, not as religion, as a psychological truth that every man who has lost someone already knows without needing it explained. The values he lived still exist. The standard he set still stands. The man he was trying to show you how to become is still possible. Not because he is here to see it, but because you are. You cannot change what happened. You cannot recover the years you spent drifting. But you can decide what the rest of this looks like. Right now, today, this morning. You can get up at the time your father would have expected. You can go back to the gym he thought you would never quit. You can finish the thing you said you would finish. You can stop lowering the standard every time it gets uncomfortable. You can start building something that would make him stand a little straighter if he could see it. Not because he can, but because you can. And that is the only accountability that matters now. The internal one. The one that does not need his voice anymore, because you finally learned to hear it in your own. You cannot give him more time, but you can stop wasting yours. You can build something that carries his name forward, even if his name is never spoken. You can become the man he was raising, not for him, for the version of you that still has time, the version of you that is still here, still capable, still holding years that he would have used to build something worth leaving behind. This is not grief. This is not motivation. This is a decision. The decision every man has to make at some point in his life, whether he becomes what he was capable of becoming, or whether he lets comfort bury that possibility alongside the man who first believed in it. Your father is gone, but you are not. Master yourself. Command your life. Build something he would recognize as strength. Not someday. Today.